Hey everybody, welcome to Morgan Live. I'm here with Amy Brooks. Amy, welcome to the show. I'm excited about you being on the podcast.
Appreciate it.
Well, Amy, tell me a little bit. Let's just go right into it. Let's go right to your backstory. Where are you from and how did you get here in Morgan, North Carolina, and your business with Paradise Glass?
Yeah, sure. I started out my business up in New Jersey, and it started shortly after we had moved there. I didn't have any friends. I didn't know much about the town that we had moved to, and I wanted to meet people. So I took a class in stained glass.
Yeah.
And I just was looking to get to know some people. And I didn't get to know anybody, but I did learn a hobby that I really fell in love with.
Right.
And so at first it just started as a hobby.
Yeah.
And I had a baby. My son was just about a year old at the time. And I wanted to decide if that was something that I could do as a career.
Right.
Just be home with my son mostly,
Yeah.
but then also do a little bit of artwork in my free time.
Right.
And so I started just kind of making pieces for friends, and people would find out that I did it, and they would ask me to make something for a gift for them to give. And I just started developing this little business.
Yeah.
And then as my kids got older and started to be more independent and in school, I was able to turn it into an actual business. And so I worked in New Jersey for almost 20 years.
Wow.
And then about 4 years ago, we were going to move just to get out of New Jersey. We were ready to have a
No more
different
Jersey
adventure.
Shore.
Yeah, no more Jersey Shore, no more, it's very condensed up there. So it's a lot of traffic and a lot of, yeah. So we were looking to be in a little more nature.
Right.
And we started looking around. So during the pandemic. So my husband was out of working in an office and he was working at home, and we figured he could be anywhere,
Right.
and so could I. So we started looking around for different places that we could be, and we decided that Morganton was it. We fell in love with just the small town charm,
Right.
and met a bunch of really nice people when we visited here. And then we found this building, which we decided would be great because we can live upstairs,
Right.
and then my shop is right below.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place right downtown here in Morgan, man. I think, what's the address here?
We're 123 and 125 West.
Right. And man, I tell you what, it's been such a good ad down here in the city, because it's such a unique art. And there's not many people doing it. It's a craft, I guess you can say. I don't know what it would be considered in those regards, but you're a designer.
Yep.
Because you're doing a lot of design pieces now. Now, I was looking at these ones you've done for some people, and they're just amazing.
Thank you.
The time that goes into that, How has it, when you guys moved down here to Burke County, welcome.
Thank you.
We
Thank
love you guys.
We feel like we're official Burke County residents
Yeah,
now.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And Scott's a wonderful brother. I really like Scott. And speaking of that, Zombie Run, so I had to throw that in there.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that because that's kind of different than anything else been happening here in Morgan. Back on track, with glass and everything that you do. Amy, tell me a little bit about some of the projects you're working on.
Yeah, so one that I'm really excited about is a project for a woman who lives in Lenore. And she has a beautiful house, and it's brand new. They just finished building it, but she wanted to make it a little more special.
Right.
So she commissioned me to make 7 pieces, and I'm working on those right now. They're almost finished. We have the installation date scheduled. It's been taking me probably about 4 months to make all these pieces. And they are all different, but they all relate to each other. So I think it's really exciting to be able to make pieces that make a beautiful house even more beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I think y'all documented that, haven't you?
We
through
have,
that process, and
Yeah, I
so
have-
people can kind of see how that works.
Yep, I was able to get a grant from the North Carolina Arts Council,
Okay.
and that was to get video made of my process.
Okay.
So that I could share little clips of me working and pieces as they're getting made. And the videographer also went to the woman's home with me and shot some conversation that we had as we were talking about the pieces.
Right.
And shot the kind of before, and then we're going to go and do the installation and get shots of that as the pieces are going in.
See, I love stuff like that. I could watch a show like that on television or something like that, showing that process, especially when it's stained glass. And then speaking of the Arts Council, man, the pieces down at the Burke Arts Council is just gorgeous. The Arts Council here in Morgan is just beautiful. Devin and the team has done a great job down there. And to me, one of your pieces is a showcase.
Thank you.
Right when you walk in the place, the chandelier. Now tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so when we first moved here, Deb started talking with me about figuring out how to make a chandelier for that space.
Yeah.
And I met with a metalworker, Josh Smith, who is a really talented.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, such a talented guy.
Yeah.
And so we came up with all sorts of different ideas. We played around in the studio. I wanted to do something spiral. And we just kept playing around with how it would look and the glass pieces that would hang off it.
Yeah.
And we designed it to look beautiful, whether it's lit or not lit.
Yeah.
So it's a really lovely piece.
Well, the whole venue there,
it's gorgeous.
It's just gorgeous. They've got the new theater there now, the
It's
stage.
amazing. Yeah.
They've had some events down there. They had the kids down there this week doing some painting and different things like that. And
Next week they're doing a theater camp with kids.
I mean, so, you know, the arts to me is, I'm all about music and events and the arts and all those kind of things. And it seems to me that's kind of always been kind of in your, you know, strength. You know,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and I love the creativity of making that building that was an old feed store
Yeah.
into something that's such a beautiful place in Morganton.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's change gears a little bit. Amy, now tell me a little bit about your, you know, you spoke recently at the Rotary Club, and man, I was really moved because you made a piece, stuff like this. I really am drawn to pieces that are memorial, I guess you could say. And I think you've done some memorial pieces.
Yeah, a lot of times people will reach out for something. They want something to commemorate an event that's happened in their life, either somebody that has passed on. I've done a container for someone's remains. That was a really moving, special piece.
Yeah.
I also worked with a client who his wife loved flowers. And so he wanted to design a window, and we worked together really closely because he had very particular flowers that he wanted to include. And so we went back and forth on the design process to make it something that she would have loved. And it was a bouquet that lives in his home, and he looks at it every day and thinks about her.
I love this story. You told this story moved me. There was something, it wasn't just the bouquet.
Yeah.
I don't mean you start talking about it and get moved because I can't remember exactly. There was something special about
Well, so one of the little special things, because it's a beautiful window.
Yeah.
And it's filled with flowers, but he wanted something that when he looked at it, he saw her.
Right.
And so her first name was Elaine. And so I made an E out of the solder so that it's really subtle.
Yeah.
It's not something that anybody would look at it and see it. But he sees that, and
Man,
it really touches him.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that, you know, just something, a special touch just for them.
Yeah.
You know, things like that are memorials. You know, they bring tears to my eyes. They move me because I'm sensitive in that regard. And we talked about this earlier. But, you know, the bright side about, you know, the stained glass in general, I think about the churches and all those kind of things. And you look at all the stained glass, you look out and they tell stories over the years. And, you know, you walk in some places and just, wow.
Yeah.
The stained glass in there. Is there a place like that really has moved you maybe more than another place, or a place you've seen some stained glass or some works? It's hard.
Ask my husband. Every place we go, I'm on a stained glass hunt. So, you know, if we go to a different country or a different city, I'm always looking up, you know, what the beautiful stained glass is in that place and going for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it in a lot of churches and stuff like that, or is it in
It can be anywhere.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the thought about stained glass is it started in churches. There are a lot of pieces in churches.
Sure.
But I really like kind of the mixed use of it. I like when it shows up in a home.
Yeah.
I like when it shows up in a business.
Yeah.
That's really fun to be able to see it just in places that it's kind of unexpected.
Yeah. One of the pieces I loved when I first walked in your place here was the little fish. You know, they were single fishes, but I bought several of them, you know, and I've got them hanging from the, you know, and they just kind of ring as I walk by and stuff like that. You know, it wasn't made for that purpose, but, you know, that's kind of what I did with it.
Yeah.
You know, you got so many beautiful pieces here. Amy, where can people go to see your works and you know, support?
So I was talking about it being in some of the local businesses too. I did some pieces for Toner's Pub.
Okay.
And those are really nice to be able to go there and have a nice meal and see the pieces. That's kind of fun.
We love toners.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, and so the Arts Council has another piece. The clock is another piece that I was fortunate to
That was a big thing.
Yeah.
People were really moved by that. They really wanted to see that.
So that was kind of a funny story because the man who worked on the clock inner workings, Scott reached out to me and wanted to know if I could help him with the repair of the glass. And I don't generally work on repairs. Right. It's not something I enjoy doing. So I told him I wasn't really interested, and he said, well, let me just explain to you what it is. And we talked about it and the history of the clock. It's, 100 and some years old. Yeah. It's been in Morganton since before a lot of people had watches or phones with, any timekeeping. Yeah. So it's a really central place that people used to go and gather to find out what time it was, which seems so funny now. Yeah, I know. But, when we moved here, I remember seeing the clock and it was all the glass was broken and it just looked like a wreck. So knowing that they were going to repair the clock and also that the glass was going to be brought back, I was able to save about 50% of the glass. Yeah. And then I found a pretty nice match to be able to work it in so that the whole thing looks like the way that it originally looked. Right.
Well, it's nice to see people like yourself and Scott who have moved here. I'm not from here originally. I'm Hill, down below Sharp, but they moved here and then they invest and put themselves into the community and leave a beautiful heritage for the next generation. I mean, this building, what y'all done on this building, now, what are your plans in the future? You got things going with your vision and what you guys are looking to do for your Paradise Glass?
Well, I mentioned when we moved down here that part of the reason we were trying to escape New Jersey, we love New Jersey, we raised our kids there, but it was really a densely populated area. Yeah. And we love nature. We love to hike and kayak and get out on the lake. Such a great area. Yeah. So when we moved here, we really were looking for nature. And we moved right into downtown. Right in the middle. Which is great. It's been wonderful to be able to walk to all these wonderful restaurants and shops. But we wanted to get out to the lake. Right. So we did buy a piece of property at the lake. And we've just started clearing it, so we're getting ready to start building. Yeah, it's really exciting. Yeah,
it's beautiful, the lake.
Yeah, and I can't wait. So we're designing basically the garage will be my space. Right. And that's where I'll have my work. Okay. So more than likely, once the house is built, we will probably end up selling this building. Sure. And then move out to the lake full time.
But look, that's what I'm saying. You guys, that's the great thing about seeing people move in and being part of the community and they find out, well, we're going to do more things, we're going to go here and you left a beautiful place for somebody to grow a business, another business. Sure. And inspire and those kind of things. And then being up at the lake, even after Helene and stuff like that, which we'll get through all those kind of things, Lake James is so unique.
It's beautiful.
It's you're looking at Table Rock, you're looking at Short Off, Hawksbill, and it's just beautiful. People don't even realize, the heritage of the Catawbas and the Catawba River, and that might not be things much that you might not know about, but there's a lot of heritage here. Yeah, a lot of heritage here, a lot of beauty here, and a lot of people coming here.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's so close to Morganton. Yeah. Even the place that we're moving to is about 20 minutes from downtown. Right. So there's no reason that we can't still be part of the downtown, as well as being out of the lake.
Yeah. I got tickled when I first moved here. People always talked about, that's way over in Glen Alpine, or it's way over in Drexel, right. And I was like, God, if you come from a big city, 20 minutes down the road ain't nothing.
It's nothing. It is nothing.
I could walk to that, but people's, the driveways for the mailbox was longer than that.
Absolutely.
But people here are like, man, that's across town. I don't know if I can make it, So up at the lake and back now, if you're, especially up from Jersey and places like that, you're used to driving and being in traffic.
Sure.
That's easy.
Oh, it's an easy drive out there. It's lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a business up in Newland, because I sell building materials and stuff, and I used to ride up 181 every day. Yeah. And everybody says, God, you ride up 181 every day? I said, well, if you've ever rode up I-85 or I-77 and right there sharp, it gets stuck in that traffic. Riding up 181 like this
is easy.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
So
The Jersey Turnpike.
The Jersey Turnpike, you know. Well, Amy, let's change gears again here. Just what are some of the things that you would like to be, you know, to carry on here in town? What's some things that you would like to see? Maybe some camps or what? Inspiring new people with community colleges or things like that?
Yeah, I love collaborating with other artists. So that's one thing that I'm really excited about. I mentioned the piece at the Arts Council where I collaborated with a metalworker. I'm also starting to work on a project that I'm working with a ceramic artist.
Right.
I love
that would be cool.
Yeah, I love the combination of glass and other materials.
Yeah.
And I love that there's such a community of artists in this area. In Western North Carolina, there's all types of different artists.
They are. You know, just right down the street, you got Adam, you know, with West Union and Molly, you know, and you got the other guys there. I mean, you're right. There's so many artists here, so many musicians here.
Definitely. There's all sorts of different types of art, and music is another big popular type of art around this area.
Yeah, I love it. We're getting ready to play music on the porch days coming up, and I know Jay Brandt and people like that in the town here. There'll be a lot of people playing everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's fun, walking around town that's got arts and music, and that's what you want to see. You want to see places that are vibrant and bustling and, you know, and happy and those kind of things.
And it feels like there's a lot of people that come from outside of Morganton who come here just for those types of events.
Exactly.
And then see what a charming town it is.
Right. Yeah. So what would be some of the things that you would say coming from the outside to a smaller town? What would be some of the things that maybe not you miss or those kind of things, but some of the things you maybe like to see maybe have or develop or that list could go on, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, we're really excited. When we first moved here, I complain is a strong word, but we were a little sad that there wasn't all the food choices that we used to have in a densely populated area.
Yeah, I know.
However, we've also just gotten the Madness, which has amazing food.
Yeah.
I would love to see some more food pop in across the street. That would be nice. Yeah, it's just nice to see Morganton kind of getting a little bit more energy.
Yeah, they get the feet on them. They do a good job downtown here. I know Casey and all of them, they're working hard, and Kenzie. You know, the food thing's a big thing. Before you guys got here, there was a restaurant here that was really popping. It was really family oriented. Well, not family, they just had everything. You know, and it's really vibrant, and you know, and those kind of things upstairs, and they'll have something there again.
Absolutely.
You know, and all these places are starting to pick up, and people are starting to come in and say, you know, we want a few other things and amenities, and those things are starting to pop up.
Yeah.
And it's a real opportunity for entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. And I think the more that comes in one area that really highlights, you know, the arts or something, then that brings in other people who are interested in food, and it all sort of feeds together.
Yeah, man, I'm all about the food.
Me too.
You know, speaking of food, Root and Vine, you know, I thought plug in for them the Rose Pizza. You know, but they were having the thing downtown, TGIF, you know, which I love to walk around downtown and shows of people I was playing around with all the kids and stuff. But, you know, the food trucks are great.
Yeah.
You know, but I was like, man, I'm going to step over here to Root and Vine and get me a Rosa. And I walked in at 9:02, and man, it was no soup, no pizza food.
No.
So I had to wait all the way to the couple of weeks. So, but yeah, we love the restaurants here and the food trucks and everybody. It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
And what would you say, Amy, for people that are wanting to maybe start doing some crafts or arts or entrepreneurs or things like that, you know, as far as they might think, I'd like to do a business like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
What would you say a blueprint you would say? Is it more passion in your heart?
You know, for me, it really was. It was being able to turn something that seemed like I loved making stained glass just because of the sheer joy of making things.
Yeah.
And then I thought, could this be a business? Would this be, could this take off? So for me, I definitely went with what I loved and then saw that it turned into a business. But I know a lot of other people come at it from a different angle.
Sure.
They look for something that's needed in the community. Yeah. And then they try to fill that need. They figure out how they can fit into that.
Right.
So, yeah, I guess there's a lot of different ways to approach it.
Ways, ain't
Yeah.
We've all come different ways. Well, Amy, as an artist and a designer, what is you on social media?
Sure.
Those places?
Yep.
Where can people find you and your information numbers and those kind of things?
Yeah, so what is it? I think I'm Paradise CSG on Instagram. Right. That's where I tend to put most of my more current stuff.
Sure.
I do have a website at paradisecsg.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I do have the shop. I don't have regular hours here just because I'm very distractible.
You're specialized.
Yeah, and I found for me that it was hard to have people come into the shop and talk to me while I was trying to get commissions made.
Right.
And I would then, 2 hours later, I would remember that I was supposed to be doing the thing that I was originally doing. So I've made it so that I'm by appointment only.
Absolutely.
And it's really nice because a lot of times people will schedule an appointment and then I can focus on them when they come in. So it's a different model than a lot of the other businesses in town, but it really works well for me.
No, I'm with you there. You know, a lot of times you can't run retail when you're trying to,
We all have different strengths and weaknesses
well, people
too.
come by and they're inquisitive.
Sure.
And man, you know, why would you not be inquisitive? You walk by Paradise Glass.
Yeah.
What's going on in here? You know,
in the
wow, it's nice. You know, so. You know, it draws people in, you know, just naturally, but you know, you gotta shut it down so you, as the artist, you know, different ways.
Well, so then the other event that I always try to participate in is the art crawl.
Okay.
So every third Thursday, from May till October or something.
It goes, yeah.
It's every third Thursday of the month, usually about 4:30 to 7:30 p.m.
Right.
And I'm open for all of those.
Right.
So that people can come in. I'm working on a pretty neat project that I did last year and I'm doing this year again, where it's a community mosaic.
Right.
And people a lot of times will want to learn to cut a piece of glass, and everybody who cuts a piece of glass for the mosaic has a chance to win.
See, let's say, oh man, I'm coming to cut me a piece of glass. But I tell you what, that's awesome.
It's pretty fun.
Well, Amy, it was sure nice talking to you, and then finding out we'll talk more. I'm excited for your business and everything that you're doing. You know, thanks for being here in town, and welcome to Burke County.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah. God bless and stay tuned.